You do not, Twitch changed how their drop system worked. You do not need to collect the drops sequentially in order. You can just watch for 6 hours and then collect all of the drops at the very end. All right, I think I'm gonna magic here, and then we'll WONG into Black Panther to blow him across. Flip Ninja, thank you for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. Papa Pros, thank you for the 13 months. The old system was not just, I mean, the old system was to try and encourage people to actually be present, actively participating in the content that you're watching. Instead of just like firing it up and being a pseudo viewbot for a little while. But I think the intention behind what that was noble. I won't complain that they changed it, but I think acting like there wasn't a reason why they did that is not true. Richie Sprinkle, 6 for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. Yeah, is it Mystique? And then we just stick the Panther and win the Sanctum Sanctorum?
Oh, snap.
This is reasonable, says Local Man about to be rug pulled. Yeah, the Mystique the Mystique play is also better if we peel Ironheart as well.
I am reborn.
Sometimes lucky, rubber ducky. They have a 12 power Apocalypse here. It's gonna be a little bit smaller than my Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
I think Snap will come to consoles like Xbox and PlayStation. I think long term that's probably one of their goals. I don't think it was on, I think it might have been absent from the most recent roadmap, but at one point controller support for the Steam version was on their roadmap. And I think controller support is, not only is controller support a good accessibility feature for a game like Marvel Snap on the PC, but once you have controller support on the PC version, porting to consoles becomes easier. Not free, but easier. Yeah, Snap's written in Unity, so controller support exists for it. You still have to program it into the game, though. And Wolf, thank you for the 1/4 of a year. Welcome back. Snap turned 3 Mr. Negative in this house, chat. It's a pretty good Mr. Negative. We got 4 zeros in our deck.
Wind, aid my hand.
Oh, you know, I wasn't thinking about it. I should have played the negative center to keep an open path for Zola is something I need to consciously think about. This negative definitely should have gone mid. Amish Traveler, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. This draws us all of the remaining cards in our deck.
Opponent snapped.
Do they have another way to get rid of Limbo? I'm not playing around a second way to get rid of Limbo here. We're just snapping on Cosmo Middle. Okay. The vision can move is the problem. Yeah, I think it might actually just be this. Spread out and play for all three. I'm aware the null's getting echoed, but that doesn't matter. I don't have any, nothing's been destroyed anyways. They actually lose all three here, right? This is why this deck has good average cubes, by the way, chat. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where snapping and retreating just isn't real life because the stakes just aren't there. Like, in any reasonable situation where people care about the stakes that are being generated, like, it's basically never reasonable to stay here against someone that drew 3 negative cards with Jane Foster. Like, in a more competitive, high-stakes environment, our opponent's leaving for 4 there every single time. I think their snap into Cosmo on my Wong is like a fine and reasonable snap. They have the counter to my thing, but like when this draws 3 cards for me, they just have no business staying in the game. Like I think they played this incredibly well up until this day at the end. Like I think their raising the stakes was completely reasonable and good. It's just that final last turn they were pot committed and they just like decided to stay despite me having the absurdity. People often ask, Jeff, how do I get better at Marvel Snap? And my #1 piece of advice that will give you a self-reflective thing to improve at the game, and that is, if you aren't retreating after you've snapped in some amount of your games, you are not retreating enough or not snapping enough, probably both. Part of that issue is they forgot to check the hand after Jane thinks snap you. Right? To a degree, they could have looked at my deck and seen that my deck was empty and known that I had a bunch of negative cards. So like, yeah, the interface could be better about showing you how many cards Jane drew specifically, but they also could have, the interface shows you how many cards are in my deck. They could have very easily seen that it was 0. If you aren't emoted with snap question mark at least once per session, you're doing it wrong. You know, it's funny how sadly right that is. If you aren't emoted with snap question mark at least once per session, you're doing it wrong.
Opponent snapped.
I think I'm staying. They could be a Cosmo deck, but the snap could just be like they're brooding left and feel safe there. Why don't I want WONG on a clear path? Yes, which clear path should I play WONG on? The one I can't play to till after 4, or the one that I can't play to because they have Goose? Oh, that's funny. It left all the hello fish tags on my stream. That's hilarious. Alright, and then we're done. E-Night, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. You might be dead, quite possibly. Dude, at least it didn't hit Mr. Negative, I suppose. So playing Mr. Negative into Quantum Tunnel is a little bit of a dangerous game. Because you could flip him back out.
Oh, snap.
Yes, we'll likely be doing long streams all the rest of this week.
I am Iron Man.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, I guess playing Vibranium means we brick on the draw, huh? I can do this, and I think it wins the right, but I don't think we win left and center.
Escaped.
Even that, right, chat? That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. If you're not having someone tweet or snap emote you, they're Deadpool emoting us because I raised the stakes in what I felt was a favorable position, but then ended up leaving at the end of the game. Because a lot of people don't understand the concept of pot odds and think that you should only be raising the stakes and snapping when you're essentially guaranteed to win, because they just don't understand the betting system at a fundamental level. And in their mind, anytime someone snaps and then retreats, it's something that they think it's a mistake anytime you snap and then later have to retreat. Because they don't understand a core part of the system. Zempai, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. For people that aren't familiar with my background, I have a graduate degree, an undergraduate degree in mathematics. I put myself through undergrad playing cash poker tables. Before I was making content here full-time on the internet, I traveled the United States playing in competitive Magic the Gathering tournaments. I finished second on the tour in one of the years that I was playing, was regularly at the top of their leaderboards, top 8 in lots of several hundred, even 1,000 plus player events. Competitive card gaming and the theory crafting that goes into it is very much inside of my wheelhouse. A panther would be lovely. Although, honestly, WONG into Mystique, into Ironheart, into Zola, around, honestly, is probably pretty good here, too. Let's press the button. Sleepy Mouse, thanks for the brand new primer. Appreciate that. Those Prime subs are a big part of why I'm able to do what I do here, so thanks for keeping me around. You can use this sub link on mobile to use your Prime sub. I wonder where the real Mysterio is. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Now, something to keep in mind is that they bounce Nico back to their hand. So, rug pulling Limbo is an option they could have. That being said, I want to just kind of make my Arnim Zola go burr, so I think we're gonna probably not play around that. Make some content here potentially. Why didn't you continue to play poker? Was the variance too high? Playing poker optimally is a slow and painful experience. Playing optimal poker involves a ton of waiting around doing nothing. All right then, chat. Let's giddy up. They've got big numbers. We've got big numbers. Let's go. Now, a lot of our last turn is going to come down to what order we hit this Arnim Zola in. So I'm gonna stay for the funsies, but obviously we could hit Ironheart first here, and then it all kind of goes to shit. Panther middle wins easy. Panther definitely does not win middle. It's a little sad that we didn't have Panther last turn, so we couldn't Panther into Zola, but this is more novel anyways. We gotta win a 2 and 3 and then a coin flip to have our best shot here. Yeah, they have 3 10 power hit monkeys gamers. If he doesn't snap, I'll pay him out the 4 cubes for his big final turn. And maybe we get lucky and maybe get there, but I think even if we hit in the right order, we probably lose. Because they have 3 hit monkeys and some zeros. They have 3 hit monkeys, and Iceman and Nico are both 0, right? Okay, we won the 1 and 3. Can we win the coin flip? Oh, rip.
Cut off 1 head, 2 more shall take its place.
Is 38 enough on the right, gamers? It is not. It is not! GG, opponent. Oh no! The real Mysterio! Rip. Yeah, we won our 2/3, but then we lost our 50-50. I'm sure there were a couple of permutations there that would have. Actually, you know what's funny? I didn't expect him to only play for 2. He actually would have lost to the Black Panther in the middle, right? I'm actually very surprised that he left himself dead on the left. I expected them to put some stats into every path. They would have just died to this in the middle. He'd have been huge, right? It would have been to the 8th. Close game either way. I believe, chat, that's confirming it's Dexter, but like, you also can't expect me to keep track of everybody's username who changes usernames every 30 days. They also had to hit that Nico spell to set up their monkey. Yeah, that's true. But also, like, we were fortunate that they didn't hit the Nico remove location spell earlier, so a few bits of variance in here. I think the only thing that was surprising to me about that last game, again, is the fact that they just punted the left, leaving themselves dead to Black Panther. I didn't expect that to be a line that they would take. You know, I bet this deck's Destroy matchup? He had us pegged for Odin. I mean, his line was also kind of bad against Odin, right? If I would have Odin'd the center, he probably loses the center to that too, right? When he gives up the left. Even with Odin, the center was still, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Odin, just like Black Panther, also beat him by a significant margin. If you're playing around Odin or Panther, you punt the middle. That's true. I think the no retreating on both sides is definitely content related. Accurate. What a game of Marvel Snap. Like to draw some cards. Yes, Xandar is being reserved for solo shenanigans for sure. So we'll draw Iron Man and Iron Heart here. I think it's just this, right? And then next turn, I'm trying to get them to stay for all the cubes here. Is the thing I'm trying to do. So this is one of those turns where I could do something more optimal if I'm just trying to win the game. However, if I'm trying to get my opponent to stay for 4, this is my line, I think. So now we go null into Zola, blow the null, into Wong, into Ironheart. Hey, Jeffy, thanks for the biddies. Appreciate the support. Oh, my body's ready to lose to Goliath. Holy shit! Oh my god! God, what a terrible... Please! Glenn, I'm begging you! Fuck this card! Oh, what just absolute misery. Ugh. I say this with a heavy heart, but there is a significant chance that the current format is only good because it hasn't been optimized yet. For reference, I talked about this in the most recent Best Decks video. But Destroy with Goliath in it is very much a thing with significant sample sizes and solid win rates and average cube rates. Yes, and honestly, I think that's kind of a fundamental problem with Marvel Snap in its current designs right now, is what Auntie just said there. Every Marvel Snap metagame seems to turn into a race to optimize the lockdown deck. I mean, I wasn't duped. I knew it was a possibility. There was no duping there, Chad. There's a reason why I said it before it flipped up. I'm aware of the things that exist. What the possible outcomes are there. Yeah, Goliath really should have a higher deck building consideration other than have priority. Agree.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna snap Wong into Panther into Zola on the Shuri Slap here.
Victory.
You know what? So, I'll share what I'm looking at. So, I realized something when I looked at the Elias stats a second ago that's actually really telling about Elias' power level as a card. If you look at a lot of the really popular cards in Marvel Snap on the public trackers, the ones that are really popular tend to have kind of only okay win rates and average cubes, because they're played in a lot of decks that are both good and bad, right? Like Zabu and Shang, really omnipresent popular cards, Jeff. These cards are all super popular, but none of them have what would be considered oppressive stats because they see range in a variety of things. Elias is actually the highest metric non-destroy card on the tracker. So the only cards that have higher average cubes than Elias are things like Death and Killmonger, and Carnage is slightly lower. But yeah, if we look at the things that have 10+% popularity, Elias actually has some of the highest average cubes. In fact, the only cards with 10+% popularity with higher average cubes than Elias are destroy cards, because destroy is incredibly popular. And those cards, destroys are only incredibly popular, but there aren't really bad variations of destroy, right? Like if you look at the decks that are playing Death, there aren't bad or mediocre decks playing Death. How is Professor X doing? Post chain. I haven't looked at him specifically in a while. His stats are bad. This actually doesn't surprise me too much. A lot of the better performing lockdown decks, like the ones that I highlighted in my recent best decks video, they actually don't play Professor X. They're just on like Storm and Elias. I would bet Storm's one of those cards that's in enough deck that her stats aren't insane though. Yeah, she's one of those cards that's popular enough that the win rate goes up and down because it's in some bad decks too. And that's one of those things that you can't just look at the data at just the numbers face value without the context, right? Because if you look at things, those metrics, it looks like Death is a better card than Shang-Chi just by the numbers, right? But the details of which decks they go into really sculpt why that data looks like what it is. Probably magicking this so we don't get 2 more raptors. Thanos Lockjaw. Thanos Lockjaw is meaningful to know about because it means my limbo might not be safe. I think Destroy is in an incredibly healthy and reasonable spot. And if you ask me, Jeff, would you make any changes to Destroy as an archetype? There is one singular change I would like to see made to Destroy as an archetype. I think X-23 should lose her second point of power. I think similar to the point of power they took away from Nova, X-23 should not help you play for priority. I think that was a really good change when they made it. Torres, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Overall, I think Destroy is an incredibly healthy archetype to have be a top deck, and it's also fun and plays a number of iconic Marvel characters. I do not think there should be any major changes to it. Well, it depends on what you mean by old Nova. Old Nova was a +2 power to everything, but the Nova that I'm referring to is simply a 1/2. Baby Blob. Good chance they have Reality Stone here. So this is 8 minus 3 is 5. I'm at 10. A singular Ironheart trigger hits here. I go to 14. Oh, that's an interesting thought. We could do this into this, this. Yeah, that's 100% the play. That's significantly better. Oh, I forgot they could move Jeff, but I don't think that matters. Damn, I should have snapped him. I bet they might have snapped us back if I snapped him.
All hail Hydra!
I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Please go. Yeah, I should have snapped them. I think they would have stayed and potentially even snapped back with the Reality Stone. We're playing Black Panther, chat. I have enough boosters to split him. Should we split him? All right, it's time for ads. I'm gonna hit an ad break. I'm gonna try and grab some credits off the track to split this real quick. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. I have a bunch of collector's reserves sitting on the track we can claim. I have 325 credits, so we need, you want 1,000 credits or so? Yes, drops are active. All right, 500 credits. 700 credits. Now, off the track is, I have a bunch of things sitting on the collection level track that I haven't claimed. It takes like 6 seconds to claim them every time. 900 credits. And eventually I'll have to claim all these boosters, but that sounds like a problem for future Jeff. It just takes way too long. It's a sick martyr, at least. We really need a claim all feature. I have a bunch of Panther splits at this point, so I have a good chance to get a premium Panther split. Yes, you should see dropped progress in your Twitch inventory. I think that's like 1,300 credits. Why does claiming take so long for you? Does it not take this long for you? I wonder if it's a facet of how far I am on the track. It's taken this long for me for a long time. It takes this long for you. Yeah, I didn't think this was a me problem. All right. The ads are over, so I guess we'll just spend some gold. Yeah, we got most of the way there. Infinity. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's our 8th split, so you have chance for crackles and stuff. Hit me, Brood. Hit me, brood. That'll do, pig. That'll do. That big, beautiful kitty. All right, when we get some more credits here, we'll need to put this up to legendary. That's another stellar one for the list. Cross that off my cards to upgrade. Chat, if you're ever wondering how credit-starved even whales are, these are all cards I have enough. Well, I think Hawkeye's actually waiting on boosters at this point. These are all cards that I have enough boosters to upgrade for premium splits that I just haven't had enough credits for yet. If you're playing a lot of Marvel Snap, there's always significantly more boosters than credits. It is a very good split. Joel's, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. Hambly, thanks for the half a year. Yeah, credits in your missions. I forgot to. I'm waiting for the weekly rollover to claim my last mission, so it helps you get your weekly finished slightly faster. Claim that in 50 minutes when the day rolls over. My boy Randy, hooking up that primer. Appreciate the support. Okay, so they are also a Limbo deck, but notable that they are typically a Cosmo deck as well, so something to think about with Wongers. Grand Central is assuredly better for them than us on average, so we'll get rid of that one. And thank you for the gifted subs. That's super generous. Happy Tuesday. The Grandmaster release, it drops fire in backup day. Gonna have multiple sunspots is a little scary. Is this worth doing? Yes, it could give me a free Null, free Ironheart, free Mystique. Leech is a good shout out. I will definitely be starting with Bounce. I think it's this. Hey, we don't have to worry about getting leeched.
Opponent snapped.
I get a free Iron Man. This also draws the Null, and then I could go Null, Mystique, Null, Zola over here. Is there an Necron Storm ever? No. 0% chance they're pulling the run of us. Well, that this is enough is the problem. If I hit both nulls, it's enough. But otherwise, probably not. Yeah, maybe I should have just gone for the double Iron Man line.
Hail Hydra! Cut off one head, two
so
more
close.
shall take its place.
What are 2/3, but not our coin flip? Oh, do we have lost regardless? I think we'd have lost regardless. I think we would have been short middle. Were we supposed to Destroyer into Null into Mystique? Yeah, maybe. If I played Destroyer here, it would have been -1, and then 4 is 3, and then 15. It was a lot of death damage, actually. Yeah, I could have Destroyered here, and then the Null would have been 21, and the Mystique would have been 18. Well, I could have Ironhearted first for more power as well. Yeah, the Iron... I could have gone Ironheart here, and then the Ironheart would have been 9, 15. Yes, that was 100% the line. That's a great catch, chat. If I would have Ironhearted my Wong into Destroyer here, the Destroyer would have killed 31 power. And then my Null would have been 37, and my Mystique would have been 34. And I could have put 37 here and 34 here and won the game. Man, that's sad. That was a sick line. That's a great catch and count. The Ironheart adding such a significant amount to it is a great find. Exciting for Grandmaster. I'm interested to see if it can end up anywhere. Yeah, I think there's a couple of cores it could be fine in. Cautious excitement, though, because one of the cores Grandmaster might be good in is Grandmaster my Storm on turn 4. We were talking earlier about how Marvel Snap formats are often a race to optimize lockdown decks. There is a chance that Grandmaster is a part of the race to optimize lockdown decks. Riki, thank you for the 2nd month of Prime. Welcome back. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case, but that's definitely a possibility. I plan to start with Beast, and then Storm is probably the second thing we try. Yes, I also fully expect that, as is often the case in Marvel Snap, you won't even really be able to fully optimize things for a while, because a lot of it is just going to be people playing spoiler. So, I think I'm actually not supposed to copy the Wong here, because then there's a chance when I Zola that I don't Zola over into here. I think I'm just supposed to play Wong. Kong Wonder, thank you for the third of a year. I appreciate, third of a year. Welcome back. I think Null's probably bigger than. I think Null's probably bigger than Panther here, right? Average Marvel Snap Gamer. Rug pull fist bump, GG. Classic Legion scamming the emote. Yeah, it's just all bets are off. You should. The output range of Destroy is just like. Honestly, it's a testament to how fucked up the tech cards are in this game that even Destroy is just like playing a bunch of tech cards, right? Like, the Destroy decks just have so many tech cards in them. That was a hub card. No, it was on the deck tracker. It was in their deck. You can go back and check the tape. Tor Chick-fil-A, thank you for the second month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Legion is what... honestly, Legion, I think, is one of the most disappointing Marvel Snap endgame cards I've played against in some time. It was one of those effects where I thought it was going to be this really neat, sweet card, and then in reality, it ended up just being another card that only wins the game when you completely cheese people. It's like, what if instead of being sweet... I was watching another creator play Armor as a tech card in their Destroy deck and then get annoyed with bad luck when their card jumped to the Armor lane. Ooh, now that's funny right there.
Escaped.
Why didn't they snap? Chat, people hate snapping. There are a lot of people who, again, only snap when they're, like, deterministically going to win the game. We're gonna play Bounce with Grandmaster later today, Mattis. It's a card that potentially is very good there.
Oh, snap.
I don't snap past Infinite because I want to see my turn 6s. Chat, again, where you are in Infinite is very different than the top 5,000 that I'm playing in. We've been regularly queuing into people who have double and single digit ranks, like wherever you're at where snapping isn't real and doesn't exist is different than where I am playing. More power to you if you're having fun with that, but it's just still fundamentally different than like the experience that I'm talking about up at the top. Oh, they discarded Magento. He's gonna be able to screw with Wongers. Hopefully they just like Ghost Rider Magento this turn on the Black Castle. The other problem is they're a Shang-Chi deck, which makes Panthering difficult. I have such a hard time saying no, chat. I have such a hard time saying no to a good time. It's not a drill, chat. They played Tempo Shang-Chi. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Wakanda forever!
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever! Wakanda forever! Victory!
This gamer is never gonna play a Tempo Shang-Chi ever again in their lives. They will remember this day forever and ever. Who's a pretty kitty? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. How do we win lane 2? I think Iron Man into Iron Heart on the right should win this lane. See, chat, that's why you play this deck, to let the numbers go, burr. On Double Up, thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Golden Border win. As soon as we have credits. As soon as we have credits. Yikes. We magic next turn. I'm trying not to buy another $100 worth of gold until the next season. So ideally, I'd like my last 5,000 gold to get me through to February. I'm trying not to just spew it endlessly.
Opponent snapped.
Next season pass card. Next season pass card is Black Swan, is her name? She's gonna be real. Next season pass card's a banger. The next 2 season pass cards are really good. Who had completed the whale track each season? Yes, easily. Endless spending, chat. I don't spend endlessly. No, Hope's in 2 months. Next season pass card is the one that makes all your 1-drops free the next turn. And again, if you want a full review of upcoming cards, the leaked video there is reviews of February and March cards in it. Good God, man. What happened to Firestarter? I mean, technically, Firestarter never existed officially. She was found in data mine files and then was removed from the game before she was ever officially announced. As always, data mine information is not final. So we'll Jane, and then we'll like Gladiator here, Killmonger here. So that way the Rickety Bridge clears, and then we have a lot of stats on the right. We hopefully play for the Breaker. They could have Rogue or Enchantress, I guess. A Wooden Spoon, thanks for the 10 months, welcome back. Would you play Grandmaster in this deck? No, I don't think Grandmaster likely adds value to a Mr. Negative deck. We're gonna start with Bounce. This is the first place we're gonna start. Then we'll probably try some Storm Prison. Gladiator pulls an 8 power 1 drop. That's true, you know.
Wakanda forever.
Wow! What a close game. Won by literally 1 point. So the first and only tiebreaker in Marvel Snap is total power. So when we tie this late, it compares the stats between these. So we're up by 3 while they're up by 2. What's the difference between Lockdown and Prison decks? They're the same thing. They're synonymous. For people asking about Grandmaster, we're not currently playing Grandmaster because Grandmaster hasn't released yet. Drops in 25 minutes. Why don't you have time traveling content? 'Cause I hate Gang. Card's annoying. forgot Keg's a card. Yeah, so did Second Dinner. Oh, you know, realistically, I should play around Dagger when there's a turn 1 Iron Fist. It's still Series 5. Kang is a perpetually Series 5 big bad, gamers. Emphasis on the bad part of big bad. Yeah, basically. Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Cut off one head, 2 more shall take its place.
What high Evo card do they want for a move deck? So Ravona discounts Null, but Null is Wakandan Embassy. What are these decks today? Chat, we are really in a everybody's just playing anything state of the current meta. And this person's like, it's not like they're unranked, they're top 500.
Victory.
Lots of people, myself included, we're all just kind of throwing noodles at the wall, gamers. This Mr. Negative deck that I'm currently playing was in my best decks roundup. It had good stats on Untapped. There's a lot of different things you could be doing.
Snap. Victory.
Having a hard time this season and last season trying to find a deck that I vibe with, one that is super fun to play through wins and losses. I think part of the problem with that is whether or not a deck is fun to play through losses often depends more on what your opponent is doing, more so than what your deck is doing. In the last couple of seasons before this, the decks that were at the very top of the metagame could only be described as incredibly toxic. I probably should have played Renslayer middle, so I could play a Wong path into one that doesn't disrupt me. Probably gonna have to leave here. Frequent, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. And M Painter with the 9 months as well. Welcome back. So like an Annihilus Black Knight deck then.
Opponent snapped. Escaped.
Cool, thanks for the 15 months. Afternoon. Well then. Thanos 2 is kind of playable. Spectrum Thanos is okay metrics. There's probably something we should poke at this week. But solid 2. I don't think S'more stock Zudex had good stats last I looked.
Oh, snap.
So, obviously not a guarantee, but statistically likely to get to send this Black Panther left and right here, so I'm gonna snap them. Remember, their Nightcrawler hasn't moved yet, so they can play stuff center. They are a deck that periodically has access to Valkyrie. And if not Valkyrie, then Shang-Chi. So we are exposed to a tech card here. The easiest way to recognize if your opponent's likely a Shang-Chi deck is you just have to ask yourself, are they playing a Marvel Snap deck? And if the answer is yes, then Shang-Chi is likely. And they always think they're, so like, I've talked about this, why I think tech cards like this are so important for the game, because it's important for people like this to feel like they outplayed someone, right? Like, if tech cards like Shang-Chi don't exist, people like this, who just like, unga bunga, slam all my cards on the board, would never get to feel good about themselves. Like, if you had to play decks where you, like, have to actually, like, think about things and count numbers and not just, like, slam card win lane. That's just how they be. They're big emotional, positive vibes for them cards. It's the reason why it's one of the most played cards in the game. Because it generates that, ooh, I got him moment. It's also why decks like the one we're playing likely just aren't very good. Because Shang-Chi is the most popular card in Marvel Stat by a very significant margin. I like the argument that if Shang was a card added in a cache, everyone would be up in armor about how much is 100%. You'd be every other thread on Reddit would be talking about how they power crept and ruined Marvel Snap by adding Shang-Chi. Gorgeous Nico split. Lovely variant too. This is beneficial for us. I do not believe they get energy from the Altar of Death. They got the cards from Nico, though. If it had been like X-23 or Wolverine, they would get both.
I am Iron Man.
What type of deck doesn't benefit from magic? Decks that are filling the board early don't benefit from magic. Why doesn't Shadow King affect Devil Dinosaur? Because Shadow King doesn't get rid of temporary bonuses. Only gets rid of temporary bonuses, ongoing is not temporary. I kind of want to just Ironheart into Zola here next turn. May or may not be right. Hoping to hit with the Ironheart there. Chance Wong goes first, and then you lose left and mid. That's not true. If we hit Wong and then we hit Null, the Null is 6, which is then 12 over here, so we'd be plus 16 on the left. Oh, and if I moved Iron Man. Yeah, we definitely can't move Iron Man. Oh, and if we hit Null here, the zombie's blowing up too, right? So if we hit Wong and then Null, the Null will actually be 8 when we blow it up, so it'll be 16 over here.
Hail Hydra!
I wonder if they hit the Nico move mode here, could lose us the game.
All hail Hydra!
Come down to this coin flip here. Oh, wait. Wait. Well, they got us by 1. No, wait, we win because their Nico blew up. LOL. LOL. forgot Noel was gonna pop up here.